This video is demonstrating how to build Team EI Colorado activities via the provider portal. To log into the provider portal, you can access it from the Data Systems tab on the EI Colorado website. Data Systems, log in to the EI Colorado provider portal, and you will be taken to a login screen. Your username is your email, and your password is whatever you have set. Your passwords expire every 90 days. If you have forgotten your password or need login assistance, you can use this hyperlink for request login assistance. I am logged into the provider portal in a staging environment. There is no PII or PHI displayed. I'm going to navigate to my client cases, and I can search by the child's name or the case ID, which is in this second column. I can search by any part of the name, but do keep in mind if a child has a middle name and you search just by first and last name, the child will not appear. In this example, I'm going to bill for Andre, and I'm going to add a service. Takes me to an activity screen, and I'm going to select new. I'll enter today's date, select EI joint visit, indicate how many units I am billing for, and whatever my hourly rate is with the assigned EI broker. And save. That is billing for joint visits. If I go back to my client cases and I go to credit activities, I can see the joint visit I entered on 12/23 for a joint visit, and the status is pending. If you cannot locate a child in the My Client Cases view, please reach out to the service coordinator and ensure a joint visit assignment has been completed. Now we will bill for teaming activities. Participation in team meetings is not billed to a specific child. It is billed to the early intervention broker. So I'm going to go to the Home tab. I'm going to scroll down past my chatter, and I can see here I have an EI broker account with North Metro. I have the ability to add a service. This hyperlink is only enabled if the status is active and the attest status is complete. So if the attestation is still being signed, this hyperlink will not be active. But I can go ahead and add a service. I get this bill to EI broker. I'm going to select Tuesday the 2nd. I'm going to pick EI teaming. It already knows that I'm logged in as the service provider, in this example, Lisa Archer. I'm going to type in how many units I teamed for. So this was a 1-hour meeting, and it's going to be at half of the provider rate. I can add a description if I would like to. It is not required, but please contact your early intervention broker to determine if they want a description added. And we'll go ahead and create this. And now my teaming activity has been saved. I can go ahead and close this window. In this example, I'm logged in as a company provider. I can go to the My Cases tab to see all of the children assigned to my company. So this view is slightly different than the My Client Cases tab. We'll give it a second to load. You can see here I can now search by provider name or client name. Just going to select the first child in this display. I'm going to click Add Services. Now I don't need to add a date on the calendar. I'm going to go to the New Activity button on the top right of the calendar. I'm going to create a new transaction. I'm going to make this for Monday, December 15th, and I can select EI joint visit. It will ask me how many units. In this case, it was 4, and it'll ask me for the hourly rate. I can add a description. It is optional. Please contact your early intervention broker to determine if they would like a description added. I'm going to go ahead and save. And I got an error message that no joint visit assignments were found for this provider. So that is because the service coordinator has not yet assigned the provider for a joint visit. That's an expected error you would see here. If I want to bill for team meeting activities, I'm going to go to the Home tab. I'm going to scroll past my chatter, and I can see that I have under this EIB information, I have every provider with my company and their status with each early intervention broker. So in this example, let's say I am going to be providing uh, teaming activities with developmental pathways for Sierra. Gonna add a service. I can pick any day prior to today. I'll just pick yesterday. EI teaming. Now it defaults to Courtney because that's the user I'm logged in as, but I can change that to Sierra. Unit, I'm going to say it was for 4. This is going to be half of the hourly rate. And I can add a description if required or if I so desire. And create. I now get a pop-up that this activity has been saved, and I can close this window. Thank you for viewing this demo. Please reach out to your early intervention broker if you have additional questions.